I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine. We're here at Melcer Tile in North Charleston talking with Jennifer Freer with Melcer Tile. How you doing, Jennifer?
Good. How are you?
Thanks so much for showing us around the Melcer Tile showroom today.
Of course.
The reason we're here is Melcer Tile has undergone a pretty extensive remodel, and where you folks have updated a lot of your displays and everything. And tell our listeners, viewers, and readers why you folks decided to do this renovation to begin with.
We just wanted a fresh look, something new to give our customers, new and returning. So just something to spruce it up a little bit.
Gotcha. Because at one time maybe those 4x4 white tiles were the most popular, but things change, trends change, and now there's different tiles that are popular now.
Yes, they've changed drastically over the years. So we certainly have a lot of different choices.
Gotcha. Well, we're standing in a particular section of your showroom. What do you call this area?
This is what we've referred to as our stock wall. This is everything that we house in the warehouse and is readily available. You can take home with you today, should you want to start your project right away.
Well, that's great. And behind the Melcer Tile showroom, you've got a huge warehouse. Any idea how many square feet that is?
Oh gosh, a couple thousand square feet for sure.
Yeah, it's huge, and you've got on the stock wall. I'm looking at all of these different sample boards that you have here, and about how many different styles of tile do you have in stock every single day?
I would say roughly about 50 different tiles.
About 50 different tiles. And so for all those procrastinators out there who kind of wait to order their tile in advance when they need something, do you ever get homeowners that come in and say they do need something today?
Definitely. And we get them hooked up, get them out the door with some tile.
Well, good deal. Why did Melcer Tile decide to stock these particular styles of tile? What makes these so special?
They just tend to be kind of the color tones and looks that the majority of people gravitate towards. Some of them are a little different, but for the most part, you're in your neutral tones, and they're just things that will move quickly.
Gotcha. And I noticed that on some of the boards, I'm looking over here, it has level 1. I see a level 1 sticker, and a few other ones say level 1. What does that mean?
Level 1 is just our most competitive price point that we have. It's just a good starting point. If someone wants a good tile at a very inexpensive price, we can start them there.
Gotcha. And it's sort of a challenge when you go to pick out tile, because if a customer were to walk in off the street and they start looking around, they fall in love with some tile without knowing the parameters or the price per square foot, they could end up picking out something that was super expensive. And how do you help customers, guide them through the process because it really is a challenge. There's so many different styles to look at.
Yeah, there are a lot. The first thing, obviously asking a lot of questions. First, finding out if they're working within a budget, and if they're not working within a budget, trying to find out if they have any idea how much they want to spend on tile. That's a good way to narrow down the field of tile. Another way, half of our showroom on the other side is pretty much natural stone, glass tiles, very specialty kind of things. And a lot of people are, they know immediately they don't want to do that. So that kind of also helps narrow the playing field down a little bit. But pretty much just working with a budget and just letting them know, kind of giving them an idea, okay, over here is $1.20, over here is $3. If you get into some of the special order things, they might be more like $5. Just trying to paint a picture for them so that they can make a good cost comparison and get a good value for what they're looking for.
Right, and I'm noticing that in some of the different sample boards you have here, there is some complementary tile that goes along with it. I'm looking at like the 1x1s down here that go along. Can you tell our listeners, viewers, and readers about that?
Sure. We like to offer a full variety of tiles. Like if you're doing a shower, for example, you want to be able to offer your client a shower wall. What are you going to put on the shower floor? And a lot of the tiles do have complementary smaller tiles for the shower floor. So we try to offer all the pieces for, the different areas that you're going to be tiling.
Sure. Okay. Well, for those that do you ever have any customers that maybe aren't able to visualize what, just by looking at one of these sample boards, what it's actually going to look like in their own home?
Lots. We do a lot of drawings, just to try to draw something out and paint the picture that way. We have a lot of vignettes that I think we'll be talking about shortly, but a lot of vignettes that try to also illustrate, what we're talking about in terms of layout. And, there's a lot of words and lingo in this business that people just don't know what you're talking about. So we try to paint the picture as best we can for them.
As far as choosing the tile and making sure that it complements the cabinetry and ties in and everything, is that something the homeowner is going to be on their own, or how does the Melcer Tile staff here help homeowners with designs?
There's a couple of different ways to do it. Certainly a nice way to do it is by having an example of what the cabinet's going to be, what the countertop is going to be, and this is particularly in a kitchen, let's say, for a backsplash. If you have all those pieces, like even maybe a paint color, and none of those things are necessary, but they do help narrow down, the playing field a little bit in terms of what you're going to choose for a backsplash. So we can help them that way. Another way, if somebody walks in and they say we want a backsplash, we've not selected our cabinets or countertops, well, that's great, because that's an opportunity for us to really maybe get into something very unique, and then they maybe select a countertop that isn't as busy, so.
Is there an extra charge for you to kind of hold the homeowner's hands and create that design for them?
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
That's great. That's great. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's head on over to the vignette wall at Melcer Tile. Okay, now we're at the start of the vignette wall here at Melcer Tile, and we're looking at 4 different vignettes here, and most of these tiles, if not all of them, are in stock for this vignette. Is that correct?
Most everything for the few vignettes here are stock tiles. Some of the decorative items are not, but it's showing how you can use our stock field tile and how you can apply it either in a shower wall primarily or a main floor of a bathroom, and different layouts and things. So it just kind of gives you an idea of what you can do with those stock tiles.
Yeah, and these are what, about 4 foot by 8 feet panels that and they really give you, I'll bet you they give your homeowners some great ideas about how they can, how to use the tile in their own homes.
Exactly. It gives them a nice picture. Like I said, we do our drawings, but having these kinds of things gives them a realistic picture of how it actually looks in application.
Yeah, and when it comes to tile, it seems like it's such a permanent installation. I know you can tear it up, of course, but it's when you install it, it's meant to be there for life.
Yes, exactly. And that too is kind of, there's a lot of really neat things in here, and you have to be very prepared and daring in a way to use some of the tiles because of that. It's going to be there. Unfortunately, though, that kind of can hinder people from doing some of the really neat things because they're afraid to be stuck with it. Most people want to go with things that are unique looking. They don't want just the plain, but that are going to be timeless, and the things that are going to, last.
Sure. Well, tell our listeners, viewers, and readers about the tile you have on display here on the floor. It resembles hardwood flooring.
It does. It's our American Olean Terreno line, and it is exactly meant to mimic wood flooring. There's a lot of, even in commercial applications, residential applications, where people really love the look of a hardwood floor. The upkeep of hardwood floor is just that. There is upkeep to it. This is a porcelain tile. So, if you wanted to put hardwood in your bathroom, well, you can put something like this, and you don't run the risk of damaging your hardwood floor should there be some type of a leak or something at some point in time. So.
And that's exactly why it's pretty much the standard to have tile in your kitchen floor and bathroom floor for that purpose, in case there is a leak.
Exactly. That's right.
Well, good. Well, we've got all sorts of different colors, and I like how you've got them. Some of them are on a diagonal, some of them are just straight, and lots of different colors for people to choose from. People are going with this hardwood look for tile.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely. Like I said, in their master bathrooms, sunrooms, and even in commercial applications where there's a lot of wear and tear.
Good deal. Well, let's kind of continue on down the vignette wall, and it seems like with this wood look for tile, could you use this outdoors on your porch if you wanted?
You can, because it is a porcelain tile. It's durable enough and it's impervious enough that you could do that.
And porcelain, does that mean it's got color throughout the tile?
That's correct, and also it's a durability as well.
So if you chip it, it's not going to be some glaring white mark underneath the top finish of the tile.
That's right.
Good deal.
Yep.
All right, so we're continuing on, and all of this is brand new. This entire, it must be 100-foot long wall we're looking at here. This is all brand new.
It is all brand new. Yep.
That's great. And I understand you were telling me that that the entire Melcer Tile staff was responsible for choosing these different tiles that would be become the vignettes, and what went into that thought process as far as choosing these particular looks and so forth.
Well, we just wanted to kind of start at the end where we began with some of the standard tiles and showing kind of how you can dress up some of the standard tiles, and then we also wanted the opportunity to showcase some of our other tiles, the more exotic looking, kind of the different looking pebbles and glass and stone, and really wanting to showcase kind of how you can use all these different things. Because as you said earlier on the stock wall, it's one thing to see a tile in just a 12 by 12. It's another thing to see it, actually being used.
We've passed a couple of the displays that have the tile in a vertical pattern here. That seems kind of new. I always think of, tile being on a horizontal plane.
Yep, horizontal. We definitely do a lot of that still. But a lot of people like to mix it up a little bit and do some different things. A little bit of a modern twist while still using some of the classical, tiles, and doing a vertical layout, or even some of the larger oblong-shaped tiles, are very popular right now.
When you refer to the oblong-shaped tiles, is that what we're looking at right here?
Yes. You're looking at like a 12 by 24. Those types of shapes are very popular.
Seems like tile, especially on the floor, has gotten bigger over time. I guess I'm thinking of the whatever size that is, the 8 by 8 or 10 by 10s that are you see in so many houses that were built like in the 80s and 90s. But they've really gotten bigger.
They have gotten bigger for sure. A lot of times a larger tile can make an area feel, a little bit bigger. Of course, another thing that I know a lot of people love is use a bigger tile. You have a little bit less grout lines. Mm-hmm. So, and as you can see, like here on the floor, you're using a large tile. It's an 18 by 18 size tile. So it really kind of makes a space seem a little bit larger. Mm-hmm. So.
What have we got over here? This tile is this also 18 by 18?
There's a few different sizes on the floor here. This is an 18 by 18 that we're standing on. This is a 24 by 24 in the brown color. And then you have that oblong shape in the gray, that 12 by 24. And then on the end you have a 12 by 12. And it's a porcelain tile, American Olean Nouveau series. It's kind of got a texture to it, kind of modern flair about it.
It sort of looks like sometimes you see these days carpet squares that people go with, and they're doing squares because I guess if the carpet gets stained or ruined, they don't have to pull it all up. They just pull up that one square.
That's pretty neat. If only tile worked that way, right?
The beautiful thing is it's going to be permanent. You don't have to worry about stains and those kinds of things.
That's right.
But that's very interesting. This texture.
Yeah, the texture.
It's kind of a leather look to it too.
It is. It has a leathery look about it.
And speaking of leather, here we are at this other vignette. Tell us about this. This looks like a leather wall.
It does look like a leather wall, and that is porcelain tile.
Maybe not even leather, like almost alligator, right?
It's called croco,
okay.
And that's exactly what it's looking like, a crocodile kind of skin. And it's a 24 by 24 big tile. Just very unique looking.
Sure. And I love how on all of these different vignettes you've got a complementary smaller tile or some sort of an accent tile to go with it. It really takes some of the fear and mystery out of choosing tile because there's so many different choices.
Exactly. And that's why we use these vignettes, because it's not so much that you have to, we're trying to sell you on the exact tile that's being used on these vignettes, but it gives somebody an idea of, oh, I can lay it out this way, or oh, I can mix color this way, or different shapes. It just really allows them to see how you can use all of the different tiles that are in the showroom.
That's great, and we've really only today talked about the new stock wall that you have, and then the huge vignette wall here at Melcer Tile, and we haven't talked about the entire rest of the showroom, which looks fantastic. But Jay Roughton, the owner of Melcer Tile, he's kind of taking the renovation one step at a time, so as not to disrupt business for his customers, right?
Yes, it's kind of a slow-going process. You have to be obviously cautious about how much noise and racket you're making up here while you're trying to do these designs. So, yeah, but it's coming along. It's going to be really nice. We're going to be finishing the entire rest of the perimeter of the showroom, so the entire other side. And then eventually we'll begin in the center and start sprucing it up in there.
Well, that's great. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Melcer Tile, where you're located, all your contact information.
We are located at 4965 Dorchester Road. We can be reached at 744-5345. And, we do not require that you make an appointment to come into Melcer Tile. We welcome anybody at any given time. I will say that if you do plan on doing a big renovation or a house, or even just want that time immediately when you walk in the door, I would suggest making an appointment with one of the design staff members.
Okay, terrific. Well, we have been talking with Jennifer Freer with Melcer Tile. Thank you so much for giving us a tour.
Thanks, Tim.